Welcome. Message from the streets. Today's topic, interesting topic. Before I continue, this video is for entertainment purposes only. Also, not meant to be offensive to anyone in any way, form, type, or fashion. I'm just sharing information that I have come to a conclusion through my studies and research and things of that nature. Going right on into it, I'm dealing with the disarmed mentality of so-called melanated people, which has led to us becoming them. And when I'm saying becoming them, I'm talking about a particular construct of unconsciousness that we identify as conscious. See, we have become unconscious of our true and authentic self, and we have assimilated into the consciousness of a hierarchy dealing with entities and energies on different realms and frequencies that's in the form of men and women in political arenas, religious arenas, down to the neighborhood cultures. This is a reflection thing. You know, the morals and principles of so-called melanated people here in America is gradually shifting because of a compromise. We are compromising our basic way of thinking because we want to be a part of. And as we continue to compromise what we know that is right deep down in our souls, we are becoming them. And because them is always has been a mindset. You know, sometimes so-called European Caucasian white people say, you know, I forgot this guy's name. I think his name was some Anthony. That he owned the slaves and he was a melanated person. He was melanated, yet he had a mind of the colonizers. So when our minds have been programmed to demonstrate and operate in a certain type of manner, we lose our authentic self. You know, we have been brought up by the television and different things that's going on around us, and we start to manifest those things into reality. You know, I'm gonna speak briefly on the thug or the gangster culture. This is something that has come off of TV in many instances. Initially, the original thugs and gangsters were the Irish and the Italians and European cocktails and mobsters and things of that nature. And yes, we have been, made, we've been notified of this type of behavior through TV, even if it's the news or, glorifying gangster, behavior through the movies and the TV shows that we grew up on and that we've seen. And again, these things that we have seen, they entered into us. They found a place to germinate and even mutate. And this is a part of the culture. Some people say, well, you're trying to blame Europeans and the cultures or the so-called whites for so-called barbaric behavior of the so-called melanated black people. If the shoe fit, lace it up. Our people have embraced this type of mindset from somewhere. This is not natural. This is abnormal. Just like if we see some European or other nationality people doing what so-called blacks was doing, like sagging and talking with a certain type of slang, where did they get it from? They learned it. They learned it from us. The way that so-called blacks demonstrate and operate and do certain things on certain levels of the culture is a mutated version of what we have learned. So now we move over into this political arena. Some of the so-called blacks had taken on these mindsets of Democrats and Republicans, and they forgot who they are. They forgot their spiritual convictions and foundations, because they have been enchanted by the politicians and magicians and witches on Capitol Hill and their local government, so forth and so on. So by we not being aware of the spell casting that's being done with the words that coming out of people's mouths, that's lies, because when you lie to people, you casting a spell on them. I don't care if you Donald Trump, Joe Biden, or Barack Obama, George Bush Jr., whoever. You know, the local politician, Mitch, all of these people, the green lady. When you lying, you're casting a spell. When you're giving alternative truths, which is nothing more than a lie. This is something that they have brought about and said that, you know, it's just an alternative truth. Actually, what they're saying, that we're lying to you, but we don't want you to be able to identify with it. So, in this sense, we have become them. And those that resist becoming them as much as possible, because it's entwined in us. It's in some of our DNA. But these types of things have to be activated and acted upon to actually manifest. So now there's a group of so-called melanated people that say, you know what, we reject the programming. And they have identified as being woke and conscious. And you know what the politicians are saying right in front of our face? Those woke people, which is a cold term to identify melanated people, those woke people, you know, that we got to do something with them. See what I'm saying? But what they're saying, when you take it and do it in math and break it down to the simplest form, we got to do something with those so-called blacks. There are Europeans and Caucasian people that are woke, but they're not concerned about them in certain instances, even though they should be, because they have a major role in the transferring of consciousness and the way that human beings or spiritual beings having their human experience interact with one another. I made mention of it before. The so-called blacks could only do so much to address so-called white supremacy, white nationalism. European Caucasian so-called whites must be the vanguard of the movement against this nefarious thought process, this poisonous state of mind that has been harvested and cultivated and perpetuated upon melanated people. And just like so-called blacks that have become them, the so-called melanated people that are resistant, it is our responsibility to address the savagery, the you know, the mentality, the insensitive and desensitized activities of our young people. Once again, if we wait for the government or anybody else to do it, it's going to be a long time that may never come. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to bring this video to a conclusion, but the main topic is that we have become them by mental conditioning, and it has been a process. And the scary thing about it is some of this stuff that's going on, it's in our DNA, you know, and it will come out in our children DNA, and we don't start to address the fallacy and the falsehood and the deceptions, and find ourselves not within them but within ourselves, and start to manifest and operate in a higher way of doing and being. Because becoming them is not the solution. That is going to be more and more havoc and chaos, destruction, war on the planet. Don't believe nothing I say. Do your research, do your observation, come to your own conclusion. I'm not kidding when I say them. I'm talking about a particular state of unconscious beings that is in control of everything. I bring this message in love. I leave you this message in peace. Peace. Oneness.